Hey there, this has been with Coaster Family Feud, and I was in Orlando for a conference and had 6.5 hours to get some new credits, as I'm aiming for 100 and then 150 before I turn 50. So I arrived on a hot and humid Wednesday, and first had trouble finding the entrance. At SeaWorld San Antonio, there's a huge entrance, but in Orlando, I literally walked right past it. When I got in, I was underwhelmed with the understated entry. Anyway, I kicked off the day, again, trying to just get as many credits as I could, trying to get all 7 of the major credits there at SeaWorld Orlando. So I'll start off with the Kraken.
So I just did my 97th roller coaster in Kraken at SeaWorld Orlando. It was good, floorless by B&M, not my favorite. It was quite a fun ride, quite fun, and we're headed now to 98.
After this, having bought the all-day dining deal for only $30, I grabbed a great flatbread pizza, cookie, and a drink. Now, I took it with me as I waited in line for over an hour, up to 75 minutes, for the all-new Penguin Trek roller coaster. This trek was pretty cool, it was pretty good, had some pretty nice launches. The ride itself probably accomplishes what they want it to as a family ride with some launches and some stuff, but there were some parts that honestly at the very beginning was probably kind of scary for some people that were under 42 inches. The queue was pretty basic, yet at the end you're ushered into a penguin exhibit, which would be great, but I was ready to get to ride some more coasters. But next was one of my most anticipated rides in Mako, the highest ranked coaster at SeaWorld Orlando, according to some YouTubers, which you can check out in a list I made with the top 15 coasters in America by 10 top YouTubers as well. Click right up there. Anyway, okay, back to Mako. Mako was amazing. It was so cool, the ups and downs, the airtime was just enthralling. It was one of those feelings I just love to get and just have and receive over and over and over. Man, again, that third hill that just thrusts you up, especially with the back, pulls you down, and you do it again and again. It was absolutely incredible, absolutely amazing. After that, over 90 minutes had passed since I had my last meal, so I swung into the Lakeside Grill and grabbed 3 chicken asada tacos that were absolutely delicious. It came with beans and rice, guacamole and chips, and of course another drink. They even had a taco bar where you could add sour cream, pico de gallo, jalapenos. It was truly a great meal, one of the best meals I've ever had at a theme park. Taking that with me, I headed over to what would be my 100th coaster, and that coaster was Manta. As you walk through the queue at Manta, you get to see stingrays and some sharks, and they had it greatly decorated, made it very interesting to wait. Fortunately, I didn't have to wait too long, only about 20 minutes. And once I got in there, Manta was incredible. The flying through by the waterfalls, by going right through and around the trees, over different paths, seeing the people below, it was a great ride. I loved it. Compared to the other flying coaster I've done, Superman Ultimate Flight from Six Flags Georgia or Six Flags Great America, this one definitely beat it by far. It was a great ride. Love this great ride by B&M. And again, my 100th coaster. I bought a t-shirt to commemorate. After Manta, I went over to ride the Voyage to Atlantis. After 20 minutes in line and seeing like it was going to be a much longer wait, my time ticking away for the day, I decided to abandon that line and go ride the other 2 I would rather ride. So I headed over to Pipeline the Surf Coaster. This all-new model from B&M built in 2023, and it was a blast. It was so much fun, the bouncing up and down as you're going, as you're surfing, you're standing, but then you kind of have that seat, but you bounce up, and when you bounce up, there's those harnesses above you, pull you back down and hold you in. It was so much fun. I love that ride. I wish I could have gotten to ride it several more times, but unfortunately I still had some others to get to. So after that, I went across the bridge over to Icebreaker. Icebreaker was another one I was looking forward to. I'd been reading about it for several years, being built in 2022. This premier ride sets you backwards and then forwards and then backwards and then forwards again, launching each time a little bit faster. You go up. It was not super incredible, crazy, but it was fun. They have a great step up of coasters from Penguin Trek now. Then you step up to Icebreaker. Then you can step up from there to Pipeline. And then, of course, all the others after that. It was great. And it was a fun, particularly for that purpose. It was fun. Backwards, forwards. The line was long. I waited about 30 minutes to ride that one, but at least it wasn't the 75 from the other one. I got another bite, this time at the Voyager Smokehouse, where I indulged in ribs, fries, and mac and cheese. You had options of the ribs or brisket or 2 large smoked chicken quarters. and the ribs I had were pretty good. They weren't great as I'd hoped for. Weren't quite as good as SeaWorld San Antonio's, I didn't believe, but they were okay. They were adequate and good for being a part of this meal. I only paid $30 to have each of these 3 meals. Okay, now it's time to try Voyage to Atlantis again. And this time it was a walk-on. And having been on the one in San Antonio, though, I expected a quick rise and then drop down. But instead, to my surprise, you go through several scenes where you're seeing different things perhaps from Atlantis and things, and some fun neonish colors along the way. And then you go up, and you turn a little bit, then you go up, and you do the big splash down at the end, and I got not wet at all. Then we make a little turn, and there's just a little dip in the water, and then the little dip suddenly gets me soaking wet. But then, to my surprise, there was another lift hill, and you go up again, and then you come down again to another splash, and that was an interesting surprise. And so it was actually better than I expected, Voyage to Atlantis there at SeaWorld. After this, I rushed back to Manta and got to ride it again, and it was a lot of fun. Very enjoyable, just as much the second time as it was the first time. After that, I had to rush over to Mako with only 10 minutes left. So I got on Mako, again in the back. Up, down, third hill, up. Oh, incredible. Amazing ride. Love the airtime. It's so good, so very good. What? One more ride. Yes, got to stay on the ride it one more time as the last ride of the night for me and for Mako on that evening. And it was indeed a great and wonderful experience. In all the time, I spent 6.5 hours at the park, got to add those 7 coasters to my coaster count. I encourage anyone who has a chance to get to go to SeaWorld Orlando, get to experience what they have. I love the colors, the decoration, just the vegetation that's there in Florida. It definitely beats the vegetation we have in Texas. Food I had was really good. Of course, the dining deal was a great deal, getting those 3 meals and the 3 drinks that went along with it. At this time, I didn't watch any shows because I had to get those coasters in. I had to spend that time wisely to add to my coaster count, but it was a great and fun time. Anyway, this has been with Coaster Family Feud, and I'll talk to you next time.